Hello, science students. This is Mrs. Castanelli, and I'm here to help you today with your genetic research. So let's take a minute and look at the requirements for your research and some of the suggested places that your teacher already gave you on your handout. So today we're going to look at eBooks, some databases, and some websites. So let's first start with how you need to get to the Sunset Library webpage. So I'd like for you to go to bit.ly/Sunset Library, and this will take you to the Sunset Library page where all the databases are. So bit.ly/Sunset Library. So here we are. We're first going to look at some ebooks and some databases before we go looking at some websites. So the first place I want you to visit is right down here, this blue button, the Gale Virtual Reference Library. So the Gale Virtual Reference Library is a database, is a collection of ebooks. When you click on it, the very first time, it might ask you for a password. So if it does, type in OSLIS, O-S-L-I-S. You could come down here to the medicine section and find the Gale Encyclopedia of Genetic Disorders, but it might just be easier for you to come up here and search the name of your genetic disorder. Make sure you double check the spelling on your handout to make sure you're spelling it correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and search a genetic disorder that's not on our list. I'm going to put in retinitis pigmentosa. My niece has this genetic disorder, so I thought I would use that as an example. When you search the collection of ebooks, you'll notice one of the first results is the Gale Encyclopedia of Genetic Disorders, but it actually might find you some other encyclopedia sets that would be helpful as well. But let's go ahead and look up your genetic disorder in the Gale Encyclopedia of Genetic Disorders. When the article first comes up, you have some options here. You can come up here and view a PDF of the article. You can actually have the ebook read you the article. If you need it translated into different language, that's one of the options here. But I really think this encyclopedia is going to be super helpful when you're looking for your definition, your symptoms, what is the diagnosis and some of the research that's happening in your particular genetic disorder. Please know that at the bottom, it might give you some additional books or websites or organizations to go to. So look at those because those are the official ones. And as with most ebooks, and also it's giving you the citation. Now this particular citation's in MLA format. So if you want it in AP format, you'll need to come up to the top of the article and change it and go to the APA format right here instead of the MLA format. And you can send that directly to your Google Drive, which is very helpful. Another thing you can do is that this is kind of a different option, but if you come here and click on print, one of your options on your Chromebooks or when you're logged into the Chrome browser, instead of printing to a specific printer, you can save it directly to your Google Drive. So what that's going to do is going to grab this entire article and save it as a PDF, and when you press save, it will save that article directly into your Google Drive so you can access that research later. It'd be a great idea for you to go ahead and get that saved, and if you like to highlight and take notes, then you can print that article out and you have it. So the Gale Encyclopedia of Genetic Disorders is going to be a great source for you. It's going to have a lot of good information. Here's another little trick. On a Chromebook, go ahead and do a Control F. That's going to bring up this little find window. So if you're looking for symptoms, you can type in the word symptoms and it will show you everywhere it talks about that word symptoms in the article. Or if you want to know, the prognosis, then once again, it will show you how many times that word is. And that little feature works on any web page. If you're on a Mac, you're going to do a Command F, and if you're on a PC or a Chromebook, you're going to do a Control F. Okay, so Gale Encyclopedia of Genetic Disorders is one of the first ebooks we're going to look at. Let's go ahead and hop back here on the Sunset Library webpage. Another database that you may want to use is the EBSCO database. In this particular one, you will need the username as BeavSD, that's BEAVSD, and the password is Griffith, GRIFFITH. Especially if you, in your research paper, want to do something that's a little bit different, like you want to find out what's the cutting edge research that's happening in your genetic or disorder. So you can go ahead and type it in here. Here we are. And then when you hit search, one nice thing about the database over here, it's going to find you, sometimes they'll give you a good research starter that will have all different information. I would definitely click on that. But over here on the left-hand side, if you want to find out what some news articles that are happening to add some recent current events in your research, if you want to see what academic journals, what they're studying about this genetic disorder in the scholarly, like in universities, magazine articles, this would be some great places to filter your results and just click there. There are also some other features down here where you can go ahead and narrow your search down. So same thing as like if you come in here and you pull up an article that's in one of the databases, it has many of the same features as the Gale Encyclopedia, where you can listen to it, have it translated, you can find out information, and at the bottom it's going to give you the source citation. So, and then also over here, you can still do the same features where you can get the citation and you can print it and save it directly to Google Drive. So back on the library page, you can go in the Gale Virtual Reference Library. The EBSCO database is also a good source. And if you're really stuck, or if you want more information, you also could do a power search. That will give you some other resources. Well, one of the things that your teacher mentioned in the handout was this opportunity to use the Web Path Express. So let's go ahead and look here in the Destiny Library Catalog. The Destiny Library Catalog is the search that you use to find books in our library catalog. So if you come over here and click on the catalog tab, if you type in the name of your genetic disorder, we probably don't have an individual book on there, but you could just type in genetic disorders and see what print books we have. We have a few. This one source book here is pretty good, so if you're looking for a print source, that might be a great idea. But here's a great search that I don't think a lot of students know about. Come over here on the sidebar of the library catalog and choose Web Path Express. So now you could go take the name of, let's pick one of your genetic disorders. You could take sickle cell anemia, and you could type that here into the Web Path Express and put that in, and what the results will be is a curated list of websites related to your search term. And this is so much better than going out and doing a Google search, because these resources have already been evaluated by librarians and included in our library database. Now you're not going to find a bunch of pharmaceutical companies that are trying to treat, or you're going to find websites that aren't credible. So I definitely think you're going to want to use the Web Path Express. Remember, that's in the library catalog over here on the left-hand side. So just a quick review. We looked in the Gale Virtual Reference Library. We looked in the EBSCO Discovery Search, and we used the Web Path Express in your library catalog. And once again, your teacher also did provide you with some other sources of other websites that you can use. Just remember, at this point, for this project. We're not citing Wikipedia as a source, though we could use the resources that they provide at the bottom of the page. So best of luck, and I hope that you take advantage of these databases and ebooks for your scholarly research.